So the other day I had someone say to me, "I'll tell you what the problem is. We need to stop electing all these rich politicians that don't care anything about America. Do you honestly think Joe Biden cares about you?" And I was like, yeah, at the end of the day, I think he does. I do believe that Joe Biden does care about the American people, and I feel like that he does have the American people's best interest at heart. People say, well, how in the world can you say that? Well, first of all, I just look at how the man presents himself, and I look at how he speaks. And when I listen to him, I hear him talk about ideas that he has to better the lives of American people. And I don't hear him demonizing everyone he disagrees with. I don't hear him demonizing certain groups of people. I don't see him posting on social media like a deranged lunatic. I don't see him making every single thing about him. I see a man who's doing his job. And when I look at the things that he's accomplished, I look at the fact that he signed the American Rescue Plan, which helped us bring us back from COVID. I look at the infrastructure bill that was signed. I look at the Bipartisan Safer Communities Act, which is the first president that's done anything about guns since I don't even remember when. I look at the fact that he brought unemployment down to 3.5%. He added 13 million jobs. He ended the war in Afghanistan. He signed the Inflation Reduction Act, and he lowered the cost of insulin. I look at things like that, and I say to myself, he did all of that. And at no point did he demonize any group of people while he did it. At no point did he say, this certain group of people over here, this applies to you guys that love me and you guys that support me, but it doesn't apply to this group of people over here. That's why that I think Joe Biden actually cares about America. That's why I think he cares about me and you. Now, you go over and look at Donald Trump and the things that he wants to do. And you look at how he presents himself to the American people. And you've got a guy who sits there and posts on social media like a deranged lunatic, makes everything about him, thinks that being held accountable for his actions is punishment. He thinks that everybody's just being mean to him, and his entire campaign is all about him and how everyone is mistreating him. The whole conversation is about him. But when he does talk about his ideas and his plans if he was to be reelected, he wants to arrest the homeless. He wants to require that federal employees pass a patriotism exam, whatever the hell that is. He wants to weaponize the DOJ and subpoena local district attorneys that he disagrees with. He wants to fine schools if he determines they're Marxist. Now, I don't know how he's going to do that exactly, but if he thinks a school is Marxist, he's going to fine that school. He's going to pardon the January 6th insurrectionists. He's going to give drug dealers the death penalty. He's going to remove NBC and MSNBC. He's going to terminate the Constitution if he feels that there's fraud in an election. Let's stop right there for a minute. According to the Constitution, Donald Trump can only serve one more term. He's not allowed more than 2 terms. So why would he be considering terminating the Constitution if he thinks fraud is in an election? If he was to be reelected, he's supposed to only have one more term. So when I say to you, the man's trying to install himself as a dictator and you don't believe me, just go back and think on this one for a minute. He also wants to eliminate early and absentee voting. He wants to end birthright citizenship. He wants to abolish the Department of Education. He wants to ban trans in the military. He wants to ban Muslims from entering the country. And he wants to bring back God. He wants to put God back in school. How is that caring about all the American people? How is that putting everyone's best interest at heart? What's in it? What is in that for everybody? So when people says to me, well, Joe Biden, man, he's just a rich politician, man, he's a career politician. We need to hire somebody, man, get somebody in there that ain't one of these rich career politicians. We need to let somebody that ain't in government run the government. You're an idiot. You're a blithering idiot if you think that. I mean, if you need to hire a football coach for your football team, do you hire the manager of the Pizza Hut? Do you say, well, I'll tell you what we need to do, man. We need to get away from these football coaches that think they knows everything. I know a guy over here makes a mean pepperoni pizza. That's who we need running our football team. It's blooming idiocy that you want to turn the government over to people who don't trust it. You want to turn the government over to people who have conned it their entire life, and you think they will have your best interest at heart. And then you sit back and you say, oh, both sides are the same, man. They're all in it together. Both sides are the same. If you look at what Joe Biden has accomplished and you look at what Donald Trump wants to do in a second term, they are not the same at all. One actually cares about the majority of the American people, and one is a sociopath. who wants to make himself a dictator and only wants his ideas to rule the entire country. So, yes, I do. At the end of the day, I do believe Joe Biden cares about the American people. And at the end of the day, I think Donald Trump only cares about himself. And that's why that come 2024, I will proudly vote for Joe Biden, and I will admit it years from now that I did so. And I will say that I've not agreed with everything he's done. I will say that he's not the perfect president. But, man, comparing Joe Biden to Donald Trump is like comparing ice cream to dog shit. And it's not even close to me.